Hi and welcome to RICS, and in this video I will walk you through how to set yourself up on the RICS assessment platform, the functions and steps you need to take to submit your submission. If you require additional support, our global team is happy to help you in this journey to become MRICS. To access the RICS assessment platform, you will first need to have an RICS website account set up. You would have done this when you completed your online enrollment application. The platform will be accessible to all current enrolled candidates, and you will receive an email confirming you are a candidate member and also provide you with a link to access the platform. We recommend that you save this link, assessment.rics.org, to ensure it's easily accessible on your device, as this is where you'll be saving your documentation and updating your details regarding your submission and submitting it for assessment. When you log in for the first time, you will notice within the platform a section of colored boxes in the middle of the screen. This is your progress tracker, and it has been intentionally developed to help you quickly identify items you haven't started in red, the items that you have started that need completing in orange, and green showing that you have completed. The aim is to turn the whole progress tracker green for each section to ensure that you can successfully submit when you're ready for the upcoming assessment dates based on your region and assessment type. RICS have made all the assessment dates for the current year available on the website. Under Join RICS, you can navigate to Assessments Information. Here you will read the FAQs and other resources. When reviewing the dates of assessment, please note that each region have different assessment dates, and your platform will be linked to your region specifically based on your employment, region of work, and route to membership. It's important to note that if you do move country during your time as a candidate, we recommend that you gain an additional 6 to 12 months of local experience before submitting for assessment to familiarize yourself with the new region, local norms, laws, and legislation. Now, if it's your first time logging into the platform, you would have noticed that while most of your items in the tracker were red as not started, you could have had one green box showing that the counselor selection has been completed, and you would have done this at enrollment stage. If you didn't select a counselor, or your counselor is showing as red or blank at the top of the screen, you can easily add this. You will be required to select and have a counselor who will support you and approve your submission. To select a new counselor, if you navigate to your profile and select Edit Profile, that page will load. On this page, you can add your counselor's email associated with the RICS account or member number. You can click Look Up, select the counselor, and save. Your new counselor will be notified to accept this request, but you should also reach out to them that you have completed this stage and have access to the platform. This may also be a great time to discuss RICS with them, your progression and plan of action. Now, on your RICS profile page, you can also update your pathway and change your personal details such as an address, phone number, title, honors, or even your email address. Please ensure that you do save this. At the top of the screen, you can navigate using the tabs to add your employment. As an SPA candidate, it's very important to include your whole career history to show at least your past 10 years of experience, to give further context about your roles and responsibilities. This helps to support your application, allowing the assessors to understand the type of responsibility, achievement, and also milestones. You can use the tabs to also as well add academic and recognized professional qualifications. As part of your submission requirements, you also must add a profile picture. The picture you are selecting must be real, in color, and not edited. Once you do have a photo, please upload it, adjust it, and save. As a general hint, if you wish to navigate back to the homepage, simply clicking on the RICS logo at the top of the left-hand side will take you back there. Now, when we return to the homepage, you would notice that my profile picture is now completed since we did upload it in the previous stage. On the homepage, there is also a help icon below your progress tracker. This help icon will also appear on every page and includes the contact details of your local RICS office, along with the user guides, accessible candidate tutorials such as this one, and relevant pathway guide information. Please note that each route to membership, while similar, will have criteria for your particular assessment type and the time frame if applicable, and you must download the SPA application guide to explain the inclusions applicable to your assessment type. Please, in your own time, read the full application guide to understand the levels of competencies, how to structure, word limitations, and inclusions you can write about within your 3 case studies. All candidates will also need to download their pathway guide, which will show you the competencies you'll be writing about towards your experience and the choices of selecting. You can download this within the RICS assessment platform under the help section or on the RICS website. Please download and only use the chartered version of your selected pathway, as you are a candidate on your way to becoming MRICS, a chartered surveyor. When downloading this, the guide will list out all the competencies relevant to your pathway. The mandatory competencies are all common to all pathways and classified as interpersonal and professional business skills. Your technical competencies are specific to your pathway and should be selected based on your current role and experience. If within the pathway guide you notice that your version doesn't have a list of mandatory competencies or activities available, you can download the sector pathway competency guide, which does have every competency listed. The first 21 pages will give you more context and understanding. The pathway guide is also a great tool to understand and write the levels towards your competencies as defined in the candidate guide and pathway guide. We have level 1, knowledge and understanding, level 2, application of that knowledge and understanding, and level 3, which is reasoned advice and depth of knowledge. The guide will provide examples of activities, knowledge, skills, and advice that you as professionals may have provided, and examples based on the experience that you could also include. The purpose of this is to help you when deciding to write and complete your 3 case studies to ensure that you are picking projects that are relevant to your experience towards the pathway. Once you have decided with your counsellor on the competencies, you can complete the Competency Selected section within your platform. You can click the navigation bar on the left-hand side of the screen, click on Competencies, and then click and choose Competency Selector. The mandatory competencies will appear first. As these are common to all pathways, these cannot be edited, so please click Save and Continue to move on to the next section. Candidates will need to select the required core competencies and their relevant levels. This section must be completed correctly before proceeding to the optional competencies. As an example, the pathway selected here is quantity surveying and construction, so it will only show the relevant competencies for this pathway. You'll first need to select the competency and choose the correct highest level required. If you make a mistake with your selections, a validation alert will appear in red to tell you how to fix the selection to ensure you select the correct number and levels of competency. Once the core competencies selection is corrected, you'll be able to move on to the next screen. This will allow you to select your optional competencies, and depending on your pathway, you may also find that there is another screen where you can pick your optional plus competencies, and there will be guidance on this selection within your pathway guide. Once you have selected all the competencies correctly, you'll be able to review and double check the selections being made. There is an edit button there if you wish to make any changes. To turn this green within your progress tracker, you need to ensure that this section is saved. For all SPA candidates, you will need to download the case study template, and this can be accessed by either the navigation bar on the left or by clicking on the colored box in your progress tracker. The template will form part of your submission and where you'll be completing the 3 case studies. It's important to note that as an SPA candidate and within your 3 case studies, we have provided a basic overview of what to include in each case study. On your template and the SPA application guide, there are headings that you should make sure you're including regarding the project. A brief overview of those key issues, an account of the role and personal involvement, an outline of some of the problems faced and the experience you have used to resolving these problems, and a note of the outcome and successful delivery with the emphasis of your role that you played. Additionally, within the application guide, the RICS requests that all case studies should provide evidence of your senior profile and relevance of your experience to the pathway and mandatory competencies, especially ethics, rules, conduct, and professionalism. For case study 1, it is covering a project that demonstrates your experience against the leadership, managing people, and managing resources competencies, also to include other mandatory competencies as well. For case study 2, it is also covering a project that demonstrates your experience against a minimum of 2 core technical competencies, demonstrating at least 1 core competency to a level 3 as stated to the pathway guide. You should also include other competencies from the mandatory, ensuring that selections don't overlap with the exception of ethics, rules, conduct, and professionalism. For case study 3, it's very similar to case study 2. and is also covering a project that demonstrates your experience against a minimum of the 2 technical competencies, different from the other case study, remembering not to overlap the competencies with the exception of ethics, rules, conduct, and professionalism. You may notice that you are choosing between 5 to 7 competencies selected from your pathway guide within each case study. We also expect that you don't simply just provide a summary of what's involved. It's really the quality, not the quantity, that counts. When you are happy that it is complete, or you're requiring a review or feedback from your counsellor, you can click Browse and upload a copy into the platform. The platform will only accept PDF versions though. Click on the Request Review to submit this to your counsellor for approval or feedback. Please note that clicking the Request Review will lock the functionality of uploading a new version until your counsellor has given feedback or approval of your documentation. We recommend, prior to submitting or requesting reviews of your documentation, that you connect with your counsellor and advise when you are planning on submitting these items and require their assistance. This is all part of great communication skills and ensure timely action is taken on their behalf to assist and support you in this journey. At this point, I would also like to drop a reminder that if you are using plans, drawing, pictures, graphs to support your case study in the appendices, please bear in mind the size and how readable these will appear to your assessment panel when they are receiving the submission online. Try and keep everything relevant, clear, and concise. Do also know that when you do decide to submit for assessment, the platform will pull all the information from your profile, such as your employment, the templates, CPD, and other information saved into the platform. RICS expects that you write everything professionally and due care is taken regarding all your grammar and spelling. You can download and see how this information will appear by selecting Preview Submission, which is below your progress tracker on the platform homepage. All candidates must successfully complete the professionalism module and test. The test can be reached within the navigation bar or by clicking on the colored box on your progress tracker. This will link and take you directly to our online academy and you'll be logged in automatically. If you do need to log into the system, it's the same email and password for the platform. For assessment purposes, you are required to complete and pass this test, and you may retake this test every 24 hours if required. The test must be completed within a prior 12 months period before applying for assessment, but we also do recommend that you revise and revisit the professionalism documents prior to sitting for your final assessment interview. Once completed, it may take up to 1 hour to reflect in the platform. As a regular action item that you will need to complete, it is continued professional development or CPD that must be logged within the platform. CPD ensures that you continue learning and improving your skills and knowledge throughout your working life. This can include attending conferences, taking courses, or reading independently. It's up to you what you decide and what kind of CPD you want to do, as long as it's relevant to your job and pathway. All candidates must complete the minimum hours required by their assessment and period. You can log all these activities from either the navigation bar on the left-hand side or by clicking the colored box on your progress tracker. Click on New and you can enter the new entries. You will need to give the entry a description, select the status, whether it's planned or something that you've already completed, a date and how many hours you'll be claiming for that activity. You will then need to select whether it is formal or informal, remembering that a minimum of 50% of activities need to be formal. Please remember, for those activities that you have added as planned, you will need to go back in and select completed for the platform to calculate those hours towards your submission requirements. The CPD homepage will show an overview of the hours recorded and the list of activities for that calendar year. All CPD hours will be calculated on a rolling period, and only completed CPD hours appearing in the prior 12 months period will be calculated at the date of submission for assessment. You can read more about this within your SPA application guide. Once you have completed the criteria for your assessment type and any timeframe requirements along with turning your progress tracker green, your counsellor will need to approve you for the final assessment. This is your approved by counsellor. Before requesting this final approval from your counsellor, please take the extra care in regards to how professionally written your documents are. While the counsellor is there to support you, this is your submission, and your attention to details regarding the word limits, grammar, and spelling is all the candidate's responsibility. On the RICS website, we have an additional step where you can download a checklist to ensure you have completed and reviewed your submission. This will be found on the RICS Assessments information page, and by clicking Apply for Assessments to provide you more details on this process. And if you scroll down, you'll be able to see the checklists. When you notice that all your submission requirements are showing as completed and you're ready to submit for assessment, the final action is the declaration. Only once everything else is completed and showing in green will this be accessible to you. If you are unable to proceed, you will need to contact the RICS regulation team for further information on your next steps. Once the declaration is completed and the date of assessment window is opened, you'll be able to apply for the next assessment window online. RICS cannot accept any early or late submissions. Depending on your assessment location, you may have the proposer and second requirements. This will be displayed in your platform. You will need to enter the membership numbers of a qualified RICS members who are supporting your assessment applications. They will receive an email from RICS to log into the platform and either approve or decline your request. Your counsellor, proposer, and seconders will have access to a similar RICS assessment platform, and under their help section, they'll be able to review more information on completing these steps required. Once everything is completed for the criteria of your assessment type, on your homepage, you'll find a banner in the middle of the screen stating, "Please apply for your final assessment here," and it will give you a date when the application period is ending. Click on that button to continue and follow the steps to successfully submit. The next screen that will appear is the final assessment screen, and there is a variety of information that you need input. The information that will show on the screen will be relevant to your assessment type and pathway, as well as your country and location. So please bear in mind that on the screen, this is a tutorial and it may differ from your screen, but it will give you an idea of the type of information that we ask for. Firstly, you may be asked to select your assessment preference. Depending on your country location, this may give you one option or up to 3 choices. Please fill in what is relevant and click Submit. Next is the international experience. If your case study includes any work undertaken outside your assessment location, please click to add the country. You can pick more than one if required. And remember to click Submit. If your case study is based on the country of your assessment location, you can leave this blank. The next is special considerations. If there is anything you wish to declare to RICS that may impact your assessment, the RICS needs to inform the assessors about and put in place reasonable adjustments. This is where you'll highlight it. Other information on the screen could be about details about your specialist area, or depending on your pathway, could give some further details. For example, area of practice or industry or sector. This may not show for you, so just fill in if you can see it. Please remember to click Submit on every box you complete information for on the final assessment page. Once you have filled all the details on the screen, you can click on Download your final assessment document. This will give you a PDF document which pulls together all the information that will be presented to your assessment panel. This is your final opportunity to read and check the submission file. If you haven't already done so, show it to your counselor, show it to your supervisor, to your family and friends to make sure they have proofread it and there's no spelling or issues or grammatical mistakes. If you do find something within the templates that need to be changed, you will need to have this reapproved by a counselor. RICS will not be able to edit or load newer information after you have submitted it for assessment. So importance on planning and ensuring you can submit is crucial, and we recommend it not leaving it to the last day or final hours to avoid missing out. Once you have checked your submission documents, please remember to submit this, confirming that these are the documents you wish to include for assessment. Please note, if you do not download your submission for checking, the final step will not be unlocked. This final step is to confirm that you wish to submit for assessment. You will need to slide the button or click on it to turn purple. Under the header, confirm that you wish to submit for assessment. This is very important. If you do not click to confirm, your submission will not be accepted. A red box will appear to tell you that once you've submitted your work, it will become locked and unable to make amendments. Once you click Submit, it cannot be undone. A padlock will then appear on your screen, meaning nothing can be edited or changed. The banner on your home screen will then change to show that you have submitted and that the local office will be in touch with you. Our global team will also be conducting regular support sessions, preparation workshops, and Q&A sessions. These can be found on the RICS website under Join RICS, Candidate Support, and select your region of assessment. This concludes how to use and submit for assessment as an RICS candidate via the assessment platform. We wish you all the best in becoming MRICS.